The restart. It still didn't work. Stress cracks in the steel.
I have to redo these.
I'm going to be showing you guys the basic mistakes that beginners make whenever it comes to blacksmithing. It's a handful of the mistakes that beginners make every single time. I made them. I'm 10 years of experience and I still can struggle on not making these mistakes. So stick around to the end and I'll show you guys exactly what I do to avoid these mistakes. Mistake number one is your forge. I have a propane forge. Right under it is an old barbecue grill that I got from my barn that I turned into a charcoal and coal forge. Basically, what you want to avoid doing is overheating and burning your steel or getting your steel too cold. If you get your steel too cold, then it will crack. But if you overheat it, then it will burn and also crack. So don't overheat it and don't get it too cold. These little things right here on top of my forge, I got these burners off of Etsy, I believe. Some guy makes them. You can adjust it, and what I like to do is keep it about right there. You see that, the very tip of the propane orifice? I like to be able to barely see that whenever you have this thing that you can slide back up and down. What that does for me in my forge is it gives it enough oxygen to get up really hot, but also enough propane to prevent a lot of this black oxidization. More oxygen will create more of this black oxidization. Less oxygen will prevent that. What I was gonna say earlier, I forgot to mention on your fire, if you have a charcoal forge, you want to break up your charcoal pieces into pieces about like this. You don't want huge pieces like this. You want little pieces. It's the way you can pack. This ain't a charcoal forge, but imagine this is your fire that you just lit. You want to be able to pack your charcoal together as much as possible. And if you can pack that charcoal together, it means less oxygen will get in there to your charcoal forge or whatever piece you're working on. Basically, the tighter you can pack your charcoal, the less oxygen can get in to your workpiece and screw everything up. But the bigger pieces of charcoal you got, it will allow a lot more oxygen in to your piece of steel. A lot of people think that you can just grab anything that's made out of metal and turn it into a knife or sword. You don't want to use things such as rebar that is mass-produced so much they don't care if it's good steel or not. Pry bars, digging bars, anything that needs to withstand a lot of abuse, you don't want to use that. And here's my reasoning why. For example, a shovel is made to take multiple impacts again and again and again on a rock. So they will not create that steel to be hard steel, because if it was hard, it would break in half. And it's the same reasoning behind other utility tools. Like I see on Facebook all the time, people ask if tractor blades are good for making knives. I tell them, well, for a tractor blade of digging through thousands of acres of dirt, yes. But for a knife to hold an edge for more than one cardboard slice, no. And other stuff such as pry bars and digging bars and just different utility tools that require a lot of abuse in order to use. I recommend 5160, 1095, and W2. W2 and 1095 can be a little tricky if you don't know what you're doing. So I recommend sticking with 5160. And there's another steel that's pretty good. I mean, it's not the best, but it's good. 1084. It's an oil quenching steel, easy to forge. And basically, if you know what you're doing and you do it right, you can make a really good knife out of it. In fact, that's what all the master smiths use in their Damascus is 1084. A lot of them use W2, a lot of them use 1095, but 1084 is basically a really, really good all-around carbon steel. If you are a beginner, you do not want to be using a hammer that looks like this. Your grip isn't good, it doesn't give you a long handle, it's just not, the proportions aren't good. So stay away from hammers, just these Home Depot sledgehammers. and buy yourself a hammer that looks like this. This is, I'd say this is about 2 pounds right here. This side is a rounding side, and then this side is the flat. What the rounding does is stretch and spread the metal out, and then the flat side smooths it all out. And this is basically the only hammer you'll ever need. If you're gonna really get into it and you wanna spend an extra 20 bucks, get this hammer right here. It's called a cross peen. It's really useful, but you don't need it. If you can get it, great, it'll help you out, but you don't need it. It's basically a flat side on this and then this cross section. What this does is once you hit a piece of metal, it will stretch it 2 directions instead of 4. This rounding hammer right here, once you hit a piece of metal, it'll stretch it in every direction like this. Whenever you hit a piece of metal with this, go down like this, it'll stretch it this way and this way. And it won't, I mean, if you know what I'm talking about, basically, if you're trying to be precise with your blacksmithing work, this is a very, very useful hammer and tool to add to your collection. If you want to get yourself a bubble level like this, make sure all your work is level. You're going to want to get yourself a chisel like this. Get yourself a round one for punching round small holes. Wanting to make an axe, get yourself an axe making drift. I bought this off of Etsy. There's a guy's maker's mark right there. I think that's the right side up. I'm not sure who that is, but I got it off of Etsy. Your pair of tongs. Get yourself a set of tongs. Another thing you want to invest in, I got this about 20 bucks at the local welding shop. A leather apron. On the subject of tongs, if you have a charcoal forge, something that's really long like these will be really helpful. One of the things you want to do is, if you have a little bit of experience of making things, you want to try to make a little bit of cash to help support your hobby or your business that you are trying to start. In the last video I did, you can check that out on my YouTube channel. I taught you how to make money, how to turn this hobby into a business, and how to turn something you like doing into a business if you would want to. So I recommend checking that out if you have an extra 8 or 9 minutes or so. But basically what I'm saying here is, once you get a little bit of experience, start making knives. They don't have to be the most fancy knives you've ever seen, but once you get good enough at it, make knives and make different things, wall hooks and bottle openers and stuff that you can bring to shows and sell on eBay and just sell at different places. I recommend different local places. Like this one guy said, once you get good at making knives, go to the restaurants. Show them your kitchen knives. I don't recommend going to places like Olive Garden where it's chain restaurants, because they don't care about the knife. All they're there for is to make noodles and get their paycheck. So go to mom and pop shops where they truly care about their equipment and the quality of work they put out. Once you're sort of new at this, you want to take your time at finishing knives and just really practice at working and getting good at every single step of the way. Don't rush anything thinking you gotta hurry. Don't rush the heat treat or the polishing or anything like that. Just take your time and move very, very slow. And don't start any other projects until you finish that one project. Don't do the mistake I do and start 20 projects and only finish about 5 of them. A ninth one, a tomahawk. Start one project, finish one project, unless you have a lot of experience and can do 2 or 3 at a time. I have 10 years of experience and I have a hard time keeping up with all this stuff I got going on. So once you're beginning, start one project and finish that one project. Even if you don't like how it's turning out, finish it. It'll give you the experience to move on to the next one, so you'll be even better. If you enjoyed this video and you're a beginner blacksmith, feel free to let me know down in the comments, and feel free to ask any questions you may have. I try to promote my YouTube channel by making high quality videos, while the videos as high of quality as I possibly can, which takes a while. So if you were able to sit through the end, I can't tell you how much that actually helps my channel from people sitting
all the way from the very beginning of a video to the end. If you enjoyed the video and if you like videos like this, hit the subscribe button. What that will do is notify you whenever I post another video, because it's a little bit in between each video, close to a couple of weeks at the shortest. But yeah, hit the like button, subscribe, leave a comment, and feel free to ask or say anything you want down in the comments. Thank you guys so much for watching, and we will see you in the next one.